My name is Devin Cook, a luxury realtor here in DFW, and I'm going to give you a market update now that we have all the data after the end of August. And when you see right here, you can see this tapering off on the price. If you remember, in June to July, we went from 400,000 to about 388,000, and this is just the average sales price across all of North Texas. And that was about a 3% price decrease, which I know caught a lot of people by surprise, because when you look at the graph and you see that really since pretty much the last 3 years, other than a couple little blips, we've just been going up and up and up. And then boom, we peaked out right around 400,000. From May to June, we just plateaued. And then from June to July, we saw that 3% decrease. So everyone was wondering what's gonna happen from July to August. And well, we saw 388 down to 385 in terms of average sales price, less than a 1% decrease, almost a plateau in my mind. Now, along with that, we've seen the average days on market ticking upwards for the last couple of months. Ever since about that April-May timeframe when we started to see that price peak, we've seen the average days on market increase to about 14 days, up from 6 days on average. That's over double the average days on market, which means that homes are sitting for a little bit longer. But keep in mind that 14 days average on the market is still exceptionally low, and that means homes are still flying off the shelves. Even with these 6% or so interest rates which we're having, people are still out there buying houses left and right as much as they can. Now, as I've been talking with clients, a lot of people have talked about how many more homes they've been seeing come on the market. That is definitely the case, because since the start of this year, here in January, we had just 1 month supply of homes on the market in North Texas, versus right now where we plateaued for the last 2 months at about a 2.5 month supply of homes. That means that we have 150% more homes on the market now than we did 8-9 months ago at the start of the year. Meaning that in January, if we had 1,000 homes on the market, proportionally, now we would have 2,500 homes on the market. So that's probably why you're seeing a lot of options popping up on the different real estate websites. And the reason you've probably been seeing a lot of price decreases, or price improvements as realtors like to call them, is because of this average sales price ticking down. And so if people listed right in the May-June timeframe at the start of the market and their home didn't sell for whatever reason, they've essentially been having to chase the market down to catch up. Now, different areas in the Metroplex will of course be affected differently based upon the demographics of the area. When you take a more luxury market like Southlake, if you look at this average sales chart, you're gonna see it's much more sporadic. You can see around that May-June time period, we peaked at about 1.5 million here in Southlake, and then we went down in July to 1.25, but then we actually ticked upwards in August to $1.4 million. But also we've seen a similar trend in Southlake when it comes to the month supply of homes. 0.6 month supply in January, up to around 2.2, 2.3 month supply now in August. Looking at another very popular market in the Metroplex, if you look at Flower Mound, you're gonna see that the average sales price peaked at about $664, but then trended down, back up, and then back down to about $596 as of August. But then you look at the month supply of homes and you actually saw it increasing, and then actually taking a big decrease from 2.1 to 1.7 from July to August. And looking at one of the most prestigious communities across the Metroplex, looking over at Highland Park, you see the average sales price is extremely volatile. Look at these ups and downs, peaks and valleys, just left and right everywhere you see them. And you can see that we went from January at 1.6 million to this peak right here actually in July at $3 million, and then down here to August at $1.5 million. Now, part of the reason we're seeing this is because the luxury markets do operate a little bit differently. There's typically less volume overall in terms of homes that are selling over 7 figures versus the 6-figure homes that are selling left and right. And so because there's less volume overall, there's less 7 and 8-figure homes available to sell here in DFW, that means that there's gonna be more sporadic data, and it's not gonna be as clear and concise as the 6-figure homes. And the last data point that I'll show you is that in North Texas, we went from 8,000 homes on the market in December, which was the bottom at that point, and then we went all the way up to this peak of 19,000 homes, over double in just a span of 6 months. And then we've actually decreased in July and again in August to 14,000 homes. Now, part of that is going to coincide with the ending of summer. A lot less people are looking to move as school is starting and families are, getting back to their normal routines. So we typically do see a little bit less listings on the market come fall and winter, but I'm assuming it's going to pick up again in springtime and summertime of 2023, just like it always does. So that's it for my North Texas market update. If you do have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'll be in contact with you and we can set up a time for a call.